Get those a little hit.
Hey friends, thanks for joining us this weekend. If you want to win your very own Kingdom Report mug, all you have to do is leave the phrase that pays over on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel underneath this very video. As soon as the live video is over, you can head on over to the video and leave the comment underneath with this phrase, the Jungle Cruise. The Jungle Cruise is the phrase that pays this week. You have between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time to enter that phrase underneath this video on our YouTube channel. Now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. The Jungle Cruise is the phrase that pays. If you're the winner, we'll reach out to you and let you know and get that mug on the way. On today's show, Disneyland Resort ticket price hikes are well underway. Genie Plus price hikes are well underway. Magic Band Plus arrival dates for Disneyland have been announced. Fantasmic's coming back to Disney World. The Disney Wish discussion continues from a couple weeks ago as we share with you some ways in which it's going to be different from other ships you may have been on. And have Disney parks lost their magic? That and so much more. Kingdom Report Live starts right after the countdown.
Come to this happy place. Welcome.
Kicking things off like we always do with a live look outside at the Disneyland Resort, Disney California Adventure Park. Pixar Pier in the distance. Of course, those bats flying once again out at Carthay Circle. You see there, it's a gloomy fall day because it finally feels like fall. Gosh dang it, how wonderful it is to have fall in Southern California after our multiple 100-degree days. It is cool. And it is crisp. Hey, everybody, wait for the Kingdom Report. Back with you once again, kicking things off with all the Disney Parks news discussion. You know that's why you tune in, and we know that's why you're here, too. And we can't wait to get to it. Who's we, you ask? Well, so many wonderful friends join us on this broadcast. Terrifying Tyler Crouch, our theme park analyst, and killer Katrina Manzone, our travel agent. Hey, you two.
Spooky.
Hi.
Ooh.
Ooh, Halloween.
Do you feel
Halloween?
Do you feel the haunt?
My computer, and then you can see I'm all spookified.
Oh, look at that. Our
So
20
spooky.
It's a 2018 style shirt there.
It is very old. But you know what? It's still in great shape.
Yeah,
I
why
love
not?
busting it out. I have my little Halloween box of all little Halloween shirts I've collected throughout the years at Disney. And then
Yeah.
as soon as it hits September 30th, I pull it down from the closet.
You're ready.
And then I open it. And then I try to wear one.
And then October 31st, about 10 o'clock, out comes that Christmas tree,
It's
Yep,
true.
That's true. And then this box gets put away, and then all my Christmas boxes come down for close.
which I would imagine it's a far more plentiful box.
Oh, it is. It's very
Yes,
big.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
It's too big. Let's tone it down a little.
I can't wait.
It could never be enough. That's for sure.
It's just a beautiful day today, though. I mean, I love. It's just like drizzling out
It's
a little
drizzling
bit. It's like the
outside.
best. It's just.
It makes me
so
want to
nice.
just get a cup of coffee and then go for a walk in the rain.
Warm up.
Yeah.
Smells good.
Get
Where are
a
my Ugg boots?
get a nice sweater on.
Yeah.
You know who's wearing a new sweater this season? Mickey and Minnie Mouse at Disneyland. Have you heard about this? Have you seen this? We have an
gonna
image
look
for you.
great.
Take a look.
Oh my gosh.
I want her dress. If they could make her dress and sell it at the dress shop, I'd buy it.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
It's pretty stunning.
100%. If they made
good
like a little
dress.
dress
Yeah.
with like a little jacket overlay and then it was like a button, I'd buy it.
Looks like she's going to go caroling.
I'd buy it.
Yeah. It's
Mickey looks like he's just wearing a college sweater.
he really
It is,
does.
yeah.
I feel the same
This is
way.
pretty basic. I like her dress. It's
I want to
cute.
say it's probably the last 5 to 7 years they have switched up their Christmas attire
They do.
3 or 4 times now.
They can't commit,
Yeah.
which is okay.
Disney
I like
World?
changing it up.
They look the same every
Boring.
year after year.
Yeah. Well,
But Disneyland, we got to give these to a new look all the time. It looks like. So,
love it.
Yeah, I like it too. I think there's a real sort of charm and
How
class to it.
fluffy do you think her little pom pom in the middle of her bow is?
Oh,
whoa,
the
don't talk
fluffiest.
about Minnie's pom pom. Oh my gosh.
Scandalous. Wow. Oh, my. Well, we are thrilled to have you along with us talking about all things Disney parks as well as the new attire for Mickey and Minnie out at Disneyland. Let us know what you think in terms of their new look. You think that is classic enough for Disneyland? You think that that's spot on for what they should be wearing? Is Mickey perhaps wearing a college sweater? We'd love to hear from you, as always. And, of course, plenty of Disney news to get to. Make sure you stick right here because in just a moment, I think it's time for the Disney News Review. Let's go. Disney News Review time. Taking a look at some of the biggest stories from across the Walt Disney Company over the past week. And we start with the unfortunate news that prices have once again gone up. Across the board, we are watching as the LA Times reports the prices are rising again at Disneyland and neighboring California Adventure Park by as much as 9% for single-day tickets and 11% for preferred parking. The Anaheim Resort has also increased prices up to 25% starting last Tuesday for the new Genie Plus service, which allows visitors to skip long lines on some of the most popular attractions. The price hikes come after a year after the theme park raised daily ticket prices up to 8% and increased daily parking rates by 20%. The increase also comes only 2 months after the resort raised prices for annual passes by as much as 16%. Halloween fans were already getting a taste of the steeper cost. Tickets to the Oogie Boogie Bash range from $129 to $179 this year, up from $114 to $169 last year. And a 2-day ticket previously priced at $255 is increased to $285, a 12% rise. And preferred parking in the Mickey and Friends parking structure, the Pixar Pals structure, and the Toy Story lot increased to $50 a day from $45. The price for standard parking in those locations remains $30, and the prices to upload Genie Plus, a feature that can be added to the Disneyland phone app, has also increased to $25 from $20 when visitors make the purchase before arriving at the park. And parkgoers who buy the feature after arriving at the park will pay a price that varies based on the demand that day. Disneyland officials did not disclose the price range for buying Genie Plus at the park. And at Walt Disney World, a Genie Plus add-on will cost anywhere from $15 to $22, depending on how busy the parks are. You won't know the exact price of the add-on until the day of your visit, at which point you can check the My Disney Experience app and make the purchase. Prices for some individual lightning lanes excluded from Genie Plus will also increase depending on the day and the ride's popularity. For example, last year, lightning lane access to a single popular ride ranged from $7 to $20 depending on demand. Now, a single lightning lane pass can range from $10 to $22 for the month of October. Many of the character dining experiences, refillable mugs sold at resorts, and soft drink prices have all been reported to be on the rise as well out at Walt Disney World, in addition to many of the food items here at Disneyland. And Katrina, while this it does tend to happen about every year around this time, so it's not entirely a surprise the prices were going to go up. There does seem to be even more outrage, even more of a backlash at this point surrounding the news this time. What do you think that is, and will it matter in the end? Everybody gets outraged every time the prices go up. Nothing really seems to change.
Yeah, I mean, I think it hurts the pocket a little bit more this year just because of all of the inflation that we have to deal with in life. Like, everything is going up. But then on top of it, Disney does this 1-2 punch where it's like, okay, well, ticket prices are going up. Also, lightning lane's going up, Genie Plus is going up, hotel rates are outrageously expensive, valet parking, whoop, up. They're raising the prices in the park for the food, and they're raising everything. So I think it's just it's more it's happening so fast, you know, and then everybody's just outraged and pissed off, to be honest. And then will it matter? No. Disney doesn't care. 100%. Not unless people actually do something and they see a huge difference. So like people are still going to pay it. That's the reason why they're increasing their prices. If people actually stood up and said like, nope, we're not going, we're not going to do this. And then they started seeing like a decrease of like attendance and like people actually like not going for like 2 weeks straight. And then people like banding together being like, we're not going to do this to show Disney, then maybe Disney might listen in some way, maybe shape or form. But people, you know, complain about it, but then they're still going to do it. And so Disney's not going to, they're going to be like, well, you guys are
right?
showing up. So why are we going to change it? You know, you guys can like cry all you want. You know, it's like the person who cried wolf, right? They keep crying it, but like no one's going to listen in a way, unless you actually like see the wolf.
Yeah, we
really
hear that all the time, right? The whole idea of, hey, we're mad, we can't believe you raised prices again, and then the demand remains the same, consistent, and it's not that big of a deal to Disney because supply and demand.
Well, we are going to see are more angry customers. Like that's what we're going to see in the end. So people are going to complain and complain and complain. They're still going to show up. But now that they paid so much money, they expect a huge return when they show up, which they may not get. And then who gets that? The cast members. The cast members get the lash out, and then they're the ones that have to deal with it. And then that's pretty much like the only change we're going to see is more and more angry people because they spent so much money for a trip now. And on top of it, like $22 for Lightning Lane on top of $22 for Genie Plus. Like, oh my God. Like, that is so expensive. Just to ride one ride.
You're absolutely right. That's an excellent point, too, is that sense of entitlement has been going up year after year. Now, of course, we took a break because of the pandemic, and I think we're all just grateful Disney parks are open again, of course. But that sense of entitlement was already on the rise based on how those prices were skyrocketing. And I think you raise a fantastic point there of now individuals seem to think more and more, well, wait a minute. I paid more for this. I demand a better experience than I expected even before because now I'm paying extra. So where is my X, Y, and Z? How come this person gets it and I don't? And that creates a very sort of tribal-like experience among guests where
more
there's
fights
tribalism.
are gonna happen.
Yeah, and it becomes a who has versus who doesn't have. And unfortunately, that will only, I think, get stronger, as you raise the point, when prices go up.
Yeah. I mean, with Max Pass before, it was, Max Pass back in the day, it was, 10, then it went to 15. And yeah, okay, that's fine. But we're all on the same playing field.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to show up to the park to actually do Max Pass, to actually do it. And if I don't show up until noon, I'm not going to complain. Like, I got whatever was left over. Yeah, it's expensive, but we were able to like buy it as an annual pass to put on our ticket, and you could so it wasn't that big of a deal. But now it's just kind of like, okay, you pay $25 for Genie Plus before you get to the park if you want. But then also when you get to the park, you still have to pay for like Lightning Lane. It just like adds, it's more of a, like, there was only one thing you had to pay for, but now there's two things, Genie Plus and Lightning Lane, if you really want to do it. So now it's just even more of a, just right to the gut.
And that premium parking price, you don't have to park in the front row for $50, but still, parking is a discretionary expense that they up and up and up. And it drives me crazy because they own that property. They're able to. I think about the hotel parking situation, how radical it is that they charge the hotel guests who spend a fortune to get a room, astronomical pricing to park their car.
I mean,
there.
honestly, the most laughable one is the Grand Californian, where you have to. So if you've never stayed at the Grand Californian before, you have to park across the street. If you want to self-park, take your luggage and go across the street.
Go hoofing it.
But if you don't have a key, you have to ring the buzz bell to actually get through the gate. And then so you have to wait. And then they'll be like, "What's your name?" Okay, and then they'll let you in through the gate. It's such a joke. Like, you're paying $1,000 a night, and if you decide to self-park, you have to self-park across the street, walk across the street with your luggage. Then you have to ring a buzzer bell to get through instead of just having it right on property where you can just self-park, go up the elevator, and then check in and not have to worry about any of this.
It is the most cumbersome of all 3 Disney hotels in terms of parking process.
Like, why didn't they just make like some kind of bridge? I mean, they are gonna one day, but like
maybe in Disney Forward.
I know. They should have made a bridge. Honestly, during COVID, when like we did that one when they just reopened the hotel, we stayed there, and honestly, it was the coolest thing because we actually got to park where valet parked.
Wow.
Underneath,
right,
and it
up
was
front. Yeah.
so nice because like the
cleanest parking lot I've ever seen.
Cleanest parking lot I have ever seen in my life, and that's the reason why it's valet. But it's just. It was so nice because I was like, oh, man, I forgot water bottles in the car. I was able to go on the elevator, go down, and then go back up. But if I forgot it now, I'd be like, Tyler, do you want to do it?
Yeah, right.
I'd be like, nope, I'll just buy one.
You spend the most for a property like that, and you get the most inconvenient possible parking situation of all 3 hotels. Paradise Pier, right out the back door.
Yeah.
In its own
But they don't
garage.
have elevators, so you have to take your luggage.
That's a good point,
I hate it so much. There is no elevators in that parking garage, so you go down the
don't park
stairs.
on top. Good luck. Yeah.
So you better drive your car down to load your luggage, and the opposite when you have to like take it all out too. So, but like Disneyland's the only one that's kind of like, okay, this is great parking, but they have tons of parking. They have the outside parking, they have a parking garage, and I know that they don't fill that parking garage.
Not at all.
Like,
Yep.
what?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. What?
Lots of extra expenditures being thrown into the mix here, as well as sort of the inflated prices that we have watched and covered for you here in previous weeks on food and beverage at both the Disneyland Resort and the Walt Disney World Resort. As mentioned in the story, character dining also going up, and we're watching as incrementally all of these things start to stack up together. It is now more expensive than ever to visit a Disney park, and no doubt that expectation, that entitlement situation only grows when those sorts of things happen. So unfortunate to see anytime prices have to rise, but will it matter in the end? Perhaps we're just complaining for no reason once again. Moving along now, big news coming out of Disneyland. We finally have a date when it comes to Magic Band Plus debuting. We did hear at some point this fall was the last update that we got. Spectrum News 1 reports that Disney announced Wednesday that the wearable technology, similar to a smartwatch for Disney theme park goers, will be available for the first time at its Anaheim theme park starting October 26th. That is just a few days away. The wearable technology and the My Magic Plus program allowed visitors to sync their hotel room key, theme park ticket, fast pass, photo pass, and other features into an RFID chip worn on the wearer's wrist. The bands would come in different Disney-styled designs, and the band provides wearers hands-free convenience. No more fumbling for park tickets or hotel room keys, stuck in a wallet or purse. Most of the critical information a guest would need is always on the wrist. Visitors with the wearable technology could seek hidden virtual bounties and using the Play Disney Parks augmented reality app on their mobile phones reveal certain characters hiding throughout the Star Wars themed land of Galaxy's Edge. The Magic Band Plus costs $35 and can be purchased online and at select locations throughout the Disneyland Resort. Tyler, what do you plan on using a Magic Band Plus for at the Disneyland Resort, or do you?
I mean, I'm definitely going to buy one. I'm very curious about the technology overall, and plus I'll be able to use it in Disney World, which we go to, pretty frequently. So I think the number one thing that I am looking forward to, though, is just the fact that I'm getting tired of going on rides and plugging in that like 12-digit number every time we want to do like a photo pass thing at Splash Mountain or whatever it be. And so I'm excited that it's just going to automatically come to my account just like it does in Disney World, because I think...
Will it, though?
Well, you know what? It doesn't always work. I'm not going to lie. That's one thing I hope that they figured out a little bit more, and they probably didn't. But when it does work, it's really convenient and it's fun. Like you spend a day at the parks and then you go through your photos and you're like, oh, okay, cool. I got some of the stuff that, and I didn't have to type in this massive number to get it. So I'm excited about that. I'm curious to see, the things it does in like Galaxy's Edge and stuff like that, because I was very underwhelmed with like the datapad games and things like that at Galaxy's Edge, and I'm kind of thinking I'll probably be underwhelmed by this too. But I
think you have to use both of them together now.
Well, yeah, you use Play Disney with the Magic Band, and I don't know, characters appear, or you use augmented reality with your phone screen, I guess. So it sounds interesting. I think if they can expand this technology into a bunch of other experiences around the parks, that would be a great thing. And I just think, the show stuff will also be interesting, like going to Fantasmic or World of Color, and maybe that little vibration that's in the watch will be kind of fun. Maybe, I don't know how the haptic feedback's feeling it with a $35 little wrist watch thing. I don't think it's going to be that great, but we'll see. Overall, I'm just like curious about the whole situation. I don't think there's anything that I'm like, I can't wait to do this. I just think that as somebody who is like such a fan of the theme parks, I just want to see what exactly this adds to my day. And I think the photo pass is probably the number one thing for me.
Outstanding. Yeah. Well, we look forward to having Magic Band Plus join the mix finally out on the West Coast. Moving right along now, Disney 100 Years of Wonder celebration is coming to the Disneyland Resort in 2023. Travel Pulse reports that beginning January 27th, the happiest place on Earth will receive new platinum-infused decor throughout the resort. New sparkling looks for Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, and their pals, special food and beverage offerings, merchandise, and more. Walt Disney's original Sleeping Beauty castle will be dressed in style for the anniversary. The castle will be adorned with elegant platinum banners and bunting, accented by a magnificent cabochon featuring the three good fairies who illuminate it with their shimmering pixie dust. 2 water fountains will grace either side of the moat, while a beautiful wishing star will sparkle from the tower above. Disneyland Resort guests will be dazzled by 2 all-new nighttime spectaculars, World of Color, one at Disney California Adventure Park, and The Wondrous Journeys at Disneyland Park, both featuring new original songs. And the new Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway attraction opens early on January 27th. That is exciting news before the reimagined Mickey's Toontown reopens in spring 2023. And in time for spring, the Magic Happens Parade will have its long-awaited return to Disneyland Park. I feel the magic, and now you can too, because apparently it happened at one point. And it's coming back. And Katrina, what are you most looking forward to in terms of planning a trip around when it comes to the Disney 100 celebration? All centered at Disneyland Resort, it seems.
I know. Isn't that exciting?
That is cool. You and I, a couple weeks ago during the D23 announcements, talked a lot about sort of these new shows and these things that were coming that got announced on stage there. And now we have more specifics when it comes to the Disney 100.
Oh, my gosh. What am I planning my trip around?
What are you planning?
The Wishing Star.
Oh, God.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just going to sit there all day.
Wow.
Look at that star.
Look at that star. It's so sparkly and shiny. I'm honestly, it's Magic Happens. I have never seen it. I want to see it. I've waited years to see this. I want to see it.
And now
and
you
that's
can.
that's the only thing I need to go do is go there first, see that parade, be like, oh, okay.
Well, there it is.
And then go and then watch the nighttime shows, because I always like nighttime shows are always fun. And then now with like the progressive, what they do, like the projection mapping and stuff is going to be even better. And so I'm excited to kind of see those things. And so I'm not a big World of Color fan, but I'm excited to see what new things they're going to bring to the table. So I like to watch it because the new one that they did for like Halloween was just like a bust.
Do you not appreciate a good misting?
No, I'm fine. I have a humidifier at home. I'm good. But I think that's like, these are like the things that I want to see. I think Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, that'd be kind of fun to go see, but it's going to be like pretty much a cookie cut of the Disney World one.
I don't know. I've heard rumors it's going to be a little longer.
Yeah, I heard it might be a smidge different, which is great.
Is it going to be 2 seconds longer? And they're like, oh, we had to turn a different way. So
I'm assuming there's a brand new scene. That's kind of what I'm hoping for.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose it if they don't. I want to see another crab, because if you know, there's always a crab in the scene. And
every scene has a crab in it.
Every scene has a little crab moving around, so you have to find the crab. This
With
is my
Pluto.
crab dance.
Naturally. Yeah.
My crab. And
that's a good dance. Good
and then
crab
Pluto
dance.
is always in the scene, but you can't see him, so you always have to like find him at the end of every
Where's Pluto?
scene. And then poor little Pluto's always left behind because Minnie's so mean to him.
He gets destroyed in that ride. Let's be real. Poor little Pluto. That's some.
Anyway.
There's some animal cruelty going on.
Minnie is the worst when it comes to Pluto. Like, did you see it? She like threw him in the back with the trunk and then like shut it. And then Pluto's like, what?
Because he takes up so much time for Mickey. That's her time.
Selfish.
Oh my goodness! I think you've uncovered her plot, her evil, nefarious plot.
Pretty convinced.
Yeah.
I think I know what's going on. Anyway,
Her fashion's great, but man, her personality when it comes to selfishness is pretty disgusting.
Come on, Minnie.
Anyway, so
Almost as bad as Daisy.
let's not get into
A
that
lot
one.
of sass there.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyway, but these are like some exciting things that are happening for the 100, and plus like the castle. I mean, honestly, come on, it's gonna be fun to see the castle dressed up again.
I think it's cool. They're gonna have little fountains on the side.
Yeah.
It's a small thing, but it's
Are
cool.
they gonna take it away?
I'm so worried that it's gonna fall into disrepair quick and nobody's gonna fix it.
Yeah.
I hate to be a negative Nancy here, but it's like it's one of those things where it's going to get the initial promotional funding, and then it's probably not going to get any funding afterwards. This is kind of how Disney works, where it's like, oh yeah, promotional funding for the celebration, there you go. It may work as long as the celebration goes on, and then if it starts to fall into disrepair after, I don't think anybody's going to.
They'll be like, oh, we'll drown it. It's fine. The poor little turtles and the poor little ducks. That's like their little chilling spaces,
Yeah.
and now it's gonna have a fountain.
That'll aerate the water. Be good.
Oh, poor
good.
little
Go, turtle,
turtles.
go.
They're like, I'm just trying to relax around here.
And perhaps it'll bring some fun to their area. They'll
Yeah.
like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
They'll appreciate it. It'll
They
be
will.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, a little extra splash.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
I want to see little duckies in there, splish splashing with the water. They're
Heck
like,
yeah. Do you remember the Year of Million Dreams having those ridiculous looking swans? They were like
gosh.
iridescent looking swans. It was only there for
Where?
probably the first 6 months of the
Oh,
Year of
I
Million
know, I
Dreams
didn't
Part
I don't
1.
think I saw them. No.
No.
You can find them online. They are I'm not sure what the idea was because they're not real. They weren't real swans. Obviously, they were like iron looking creation swans to try and help with the celebration that was happening,
ambiance?
and it just did not sort of hit right, and they were gone pretty quick. But I recall those being in the moat. I always thought like it'd be so nice to have something in the moat again.
Yeah.
It'd be so
Yeah.
nice
They
to see
couldn't have
something in
real
the moat.
swans because real swans are evil.
Well, they did have real swans at one point.
Oh, well,
there
they're
are
evil.
photos. Yeah.
They're mean.
Yeah, they're not the happiest of creatures.
No,
that's
they're
for-
not.
As angelic as they look.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You get too close,
Honk, honk.
they
Yeah.
get you.
We know.
Hello?
We
Especially
know.
those popcorns.
Hello, Michael. Was that his idea? See,
Hello?
he's very welcoming to these geese. I feel like swans.
Swans,
Swans.
yeah.
Swans.
Yeah, not
like-
the golden goose known
like
as our own
geese
Gared
could be-
Hassel, but
That's right. What a
swans.
treasure.
Right, absolutely. Well, you let us know. Are you looking forward to the Disney 100 celebration? What are you looking forward to the most out of the list of offerings now that we know so much is heading our way, specifically at the Disneyland Resort? Very exciting to see us get that big 100 celebration happening at the happiest place on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some great news, and that is Walt Disney World has announced the return of Fantasmic. Fantasmic coming back to Disney's Hollywood Studios this November. The specific date has not been announced, but it is this November. No doubt we will hear in the coming days exactly what date that is as people can start planning their trips to Hollywood Studios and seeing that epic nighttime spectacular in the stadium that they built for it out there at Orlando's Hollywood Studios Park. No doubt the Disneyland version very different, being that it's essentially New Orleans Square that gets transformed at night, and you have to kind of sit on the ground, and there's really no staggered seating like there is out in Florida. Like I said, they built their own arena for this, which was pretty cool. However, the Florida version said to be getting all kinds of additional enhancements, all kinds of extras as it comes back to us since the first time since before the pandemic. So this is tremendous news to finally see it happening. Tyler, in your eyes, I guess, how much value does Fantasmic returning add to a day at Disney's Hollywood Studios? And is it worth going out of your way to see? I know both you and Katrina have some very strong opinions about the value of Hollywood Studios overall in terms of a full day and what it can offer. Your thoughts on Fantasmic coming back?
I mean, I feel like it is like a half-day park pretty much, but I think this will add a ton of value to the park itself, because I think that Fantasmic, I mean, the Disneyland version is one of the best nighttime shows. I mean, I think it is probably the best nighttime show I've ever seen. And Disney World, it's always needed a little bit of a helping hand, I feel like. And if they're really going to just spend a bunch of money updating the show, bringing a bunch of new features, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of projection mapping now. It's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome to see. And I'm very excited to see it. I think if you've never seen Fantasmic before, this is going to be an amazing thing to do. It's going to add a lot to Hollywood Studios. They need it. The shows over the fireworks shows they do, they're fine, but they're nothing like the Magic Kingdom shows or even World of Color or anything like that. It's just not on the same level. So they need that nighttime show to come. I'm very excited. I want to see like exactly what they're adding to it, because could be some really cool stuff. I feel like when they updated the one at Disneyland recently, they mostly did a good job. I think, maybe the Pirates of the Caribbean scene I could have done without. But other than that, I think they did a great job updating everything. And so I think that they'll probably learn from maybe a couple of those mistakes, have some new things coming to the Disney World edition. And, I think one of the weirdest things about that Disney World edition was they added a bunch of villains to it. And so there's this whole section where it's literally just like villains laughing for literally like 2.5 minutes. I feel like
weird, huh?
Yeah. And so I think, they can tighten it up a little bit. Hopefully they add a little bit of flair to the Steamboat Willie section at the end. I would hope so. But
you're right. By comparison, the Disneyland version having the full-on Mark Twain being utilized, it's so grand in size.
When it turns the corner.
And then you see the Disney World version, and it's a made-for-show steamboat that looks like it was from the cartoon that was potentially made in somebody's garage. Maybe a high school project.
Like a
almost
high school prom.
It looks really cheap, unfortunately, for how grand the show is. It's such a great finale moment that kind of falls flat because this boat is so sad looking.
I honestly think when I first saw the show when I was younger, I didn't even connect the dots that it was Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because it doesn't really. I mean, it's kind of like. Yeah, it seems like it's put together with cardboard and duct tape in a certain way. So add a little bit of flair to it, maybe. I hope. Let's go. I think it's going to add tremendous value. This is exactly the type of thing that Hollywood Studios needs, besides more attractions. But let's go. I'm excited. Let's
bring it on.
Yeah, it's just like there's something magical that I don't know if the Disney World version will ever be able to recapture the magic that the Disneyland one has, but they can. It's still something that you need to see if you've never seen it before.
Yeah, a great way to end a night at Hollywood Studios, and certainly
it actually makes you want to stay until the end.
Exactly. Yeah, a treat, a kiss goodnight, as they say, at Walt Disney World. So
I think if you're gonna stay at Disney World too, like, it would be great to go to that park later. Like, maybe you can have a nice breakfast at a hotel, or just lounge around at the pool for half the day or something. Then head over to Hollywood Studios at night. You'll have Fantasmic to do, because right now there really isn't. It's not like something you want to spend your entire day at. So I think that would be great if they added more attractions too. But
yeah, still even here sort of post-pandemic shutdown of what we saw get completely taken offline. Still a lot of things that have yet to come back in that park. And it's like the whole sort of north side of the park going towards that Star Wars launch bay and everything. It's like it's such a dead zone, and it's really unfortunate being kind of the core of the park, or just off to the side of the core of the park. Certainly with Toy Story Land coming to play, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge being thrown into the mix, strides in the right direction. But certainly, more of a half-day park. It can be accomplished pretty darn quick for the most part, and hopefully with the addition of Fantasmic and perhaps more shows down the line, there will be even more of a reason to visit than ever before. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you need to stick around, because we got the Disney list up next. Remember those carefree days of childhood where the magic still existed? When you didn't feel guilty about eating mountains of cereal with, we'll just say, questionable nutrition? Well, now you can have your cereal, and you can eat it too. Because Magic Spoon has re-engineered that same great taste with grown-up ingredients for an absolutely game-changing Cereal 2.0. I adore cereal. I treasure cereal. It's one of my favorite things to eat. but I just can't justify eating mounds of sugar in every bowl. I don't need to worry about that with Magic Spoon because it's high protein, low carb, and 0 grams of sugar in each serving. I know, it's hard to believe, but it also comes in 6 delicious flavors: frosted, fruity, cocoa, cinnamon, blueberry, and peanut butter. Plus, they've got limited edition flavors released throughout the year, like gingerbread or peaches and cream. So taste that magic of childhood all over again and get yourself some Magic Spoon cereal. Plus, take $5 off your order at checkout. All you got to do is insert the promo code Kingdom Team. That's right, Kingdom Team at checkout will get you $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com. That's magicspoon.com. Promo code Kingdom Team. The Disney List is here, taking a look at some of the best and worst from across the Walt Disney Company. This time around, we are focusing on the Disney Cruise Line, specifically the Disney Wish, and the top 3 differences that the Disney Wish has when it comes to the other cruise ships within the Disney Cruise Line fleet. How different is it? Recently, our own Gared Hassel. Oh, was that a ship horn? What was that? Recently, our own Gared Hassel was on the Disney Wish and enjoying himself a great time in Le Bahama and enjoying himself some time on the ship, getting to know it a little bit. You've been on some Disney Cruise Line ships before. You've been able to experience them.
Yeah.
How do they compare? What sort of things would you share with folks who may be planning a trip on the newest ship of the Disney fleet?
Well, I have a visual representation today of the Disney Wish. How about that, everyone?
Oh, what a ship.
That's so fancy.
Yeah, it definitely is. This is the miniature version.
If
It's
you're
not
an
actually this
Ant-Man,
size, just so you know.
you'd live in there.
Well, Ant-Man did visit me on the ship, and he kind of got into some antics and actually did shrink the ship down to being smaller than a seagull. But you'll have to go on that and experience it yourself. It's quite a transformative experience, if I do say so. Now, for those that don't know, there are 5 ships currently in Disney's fleet. They are the Magic, Wonder, Dream, Fantasy, and the Disney Wish. And on the future horizon, we have the Disney Treasure, which I'm looking forward to because it's Aladdin themed. But
The
the
treasure.
first huge, the Treasure. I want to start either a betting pool or something on like Disney ship names. I thought it'd be a fun little game, like, because I was thinking, is it going to be like the Disney Experience, the Disney Adventure, or I actually started looking at the parking lot names for Epcot and be like, the Disney Journey,
How about
Disney
the
Imagination.
clever.
Actually, I thought, like, know what? Epcot's got some cool, like, parking lot names. We can go with that.
Coming soon.
How about the Disney Moneymaker?
Oh,
Well, shouldn't be just called Chapek?
That would be the Disney McDuck named after.
Oh, yeah.
the SS
Wealthiest
Iger.
duck in
Honestly, the
world.
back of it would be so legit because you just have like a stack of like coins and money, and then you have Scrooge jumping in.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Done.
Writes itself.
Can you imagine? That'd be so great.
Like Disney, hire us for consulting. We're open. We got free Saturdays
Done.
after the show. That is.
I'm looking forward to the Eisner.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that might be
Hello? Hello?
Oh, hi. Hey, Eisner, how you doing?
Hello? 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 Hello?
Wow.
He got the cruise line started.
fun. He did.
But to start off the 3 huge differences, the first one is going to be the size. The size of the Disney Wish is it's absolutely massive. It is a behemoth of a ship, and it sounds silly saying that because the Disney Dream class and the Triton class, which is the Disney Wish, are similar. But if you go just based off of weight, the Disney Wish is 144,000 tons, while the other ones, 130,000 tons for the Dream Fantasy, and then the Wonder and the Magic, the ones that started, are just 84,000 tons, and that is a lot of weight. And luckily it's not on land because it would be very bad. But water displaces. But the size it's huge. You see it and you feel the weight of it. It is taller in the front because you've got these new rooms. These are concierge rooms. You've got a whole concierge sort of deck on the top right there. Then what I want to say is probably one of the main reasons it weighs so much is right on top here is the Aquamouse. It is the roller coaster on the ship that is essentially the Aqueduct, just with a conveyor belt system instead of what it was, where you'd walk up to it. That adds a lot of weight, but also the rooms are larger. I think there's just heavier things on the ship, and it is big. The propellers on this ship are massive. They are huge. If you've ever seen the making of the Disney Wish, you can see how big these propellers are. They're bigger and stronger, more powerful than the previous propellers on the other ships as well. And it burns clean fuel. It's got a great system in it. And on that video, you can see there where people are walking toward the front of the ship. You can't do that on the other boats. It's big enough to where guests can actually walk to the front of the ship and relive their own Titanic scene and say, "I'm king of the world."
Did you do that?
No.
Oh.
I figured you did that on every ship.
That's right.
If I did on the Fantasy or the Dream, I'm pretty sure it'd be kicked off and thrown in the brig because you can't actually access
In the
it.
brig.
But
Oh.
and the brig,
Wow.
yeah. And unlike Will Turner, I do not know how to get out of doors with half pin barrel hinges. But
That's you.
the size of this sucker is it is huge. It's a 90 plus $90 million investment, and it is absolutely just a behemoth of a ship. It's large. You have to see it and touch it and taste it and all that other good stuff.
Taste it. Yeah, lick that ship.
Yeah, you got it. It's high quality metal right there.
Yeah.
Mm.
I always thought you were a ship licker.
Lick a lot of ship, do you?
Gared ship liquor Hassel. I like it.
Oh boy.
If people mispronounce
it.
that,
Let's go.
If people mispronounce that P, it's all over.
Oh yeah.
But the second thing is, from the moment you enter the ship, you can tell an immediate difference in the atrium. On the Wish, it is called the Grand Hall, and is, as you can see there, it's themed around sort of like a castle entranceway to where a prince and princess or characters would greet you from that balcony there, which is located on the 5th deck, and they can wave down to you. And instead of having this glass chandelier that you would have on the Dream and all the others, it's this sort of spiraling chandelier that looks like the midnight star that you'd see from like any like Pinocchio, Cinderella, so on and so forth. And it's not as quite immaculate as it, but it's still very pretty. And then there's a nice sort of spiraling staircase that takes you from deck 3 that you enter on all the way to deck 5. And the layout of the Grand Hall is significantly different. On the previous ships, you would enter and go to the right. You would have guest services. That is now on deck 4 to allow, I think, that entranceway to just be for enjoyment, relaxation, amusement, and also you get to, when you enter, you can immediately go down to the kids' floor, either taking the stairs or taking the slide, which I did. I took the slide. I don't think it's built for 6 foot plus people my size.
But you did it.
But I did, and I got to be the kid I wanted to. There was a holdup, and 3 kids got stuck behind me, but that's a risk I'm willing to take for the sake of this channel.
Kid.
Research.
Yeah. But on deck 4, that's where you've got some lounges there for the adults. You also have the guest services. That's where you can get pictures, and they also have the DVC lounge there. But on the 5th deck, that is where the shopping is done. Previously, on the deck 3 that you enter, you could walk down towards the Walt Disney Theater, and you would see all these great little shops and nooks. Deck 3 is bars primarily and sitting around. Deck 4 is going to have some cafes and is more for business. And then deck 5 is where you get entertainment, you get shops, and that's where you can do all that dining experience. But it all leads, if you head to the front of the shift, then you will get to see, the Walt Disney Theater, which is quite beautiful and immaculate. So that's the second big difference. The third one, I would just have to say, it's hard to pick and everything, but the pool layout is significantly different on this one. From the top here, you can see that there's a pool right here in the front. That is for the concierge lounge only. Then here in the middle, right there, you can see that those are like the family sort of pools. Before, they used to have 2 large pools that guests could run in and out of with little water slides around there. Now it's just a bunch of little ponds, little ponds. And then finally on the back of the ship right here, that's sort of the adult lounge. And the adult lounge is significantly smaller, or the adult area is a lot smaller than previous ones. They used to have, because previously on all the other ships, the adult lounge is actually on the front of the ship. Now it's at the rear of the ship as well as the Cove Cafe, which is a really nice place to get some coffee that's a little overpriced. It's like you want Starbucks on the ship. This is where you go rather than getting the sort of Folgers. This is where you get the real stuff.
Yeah.
And it has an infinity pool at the end for the adults, which is, very nice, but it can be quite cramped because there's only one real pool for the adults. So that is sort of
surprising.
A shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it feels like there's a lot more deck space for just sitting around and not as much space for, pool, enjoyment and activities.
I feel like this is
So
bad
I found
oversight.
Sorry, say that again.
I feel like it was like bad oversight for them to like be like,
Yeah.
let's just make a smaller pool but tons of deck space because no one
Yeah.
wants to sit in a pool as we're leaving and like going on a cruise ship.
Who relaxes
Who
on
Who
a ship?
relaxes and sits on an infinity pool to
They'd
watch
rather
the
lick it.
ocean? Wouldn't you
Yeah.
sit in the middle and have
Would
no
rather
view?
lick it. Yeah. No, there is a lot less pool space, and I found only one hot tub for the entire, unless you're in concierge, which has their own pool and hot tub situation. There's only one hot tub for the adults and everyone else, and it's right here.
Everyone else.
Towards the back. Yeah, and it's a little tiny thing on. It's in the adult area, but it's not really secluded. Like anyone can really hop in there, including kids. While before, on other ships, only adults can use the hot tub.
Wow.
And one shocking thing is when you are leaving the front of the ship where they have, the spa and concierge on the top floor, you immediately leave and you're in a kid zone right behind the concierge, which is usually an area where you have adults typically only. Like you usually don't see that many young families in the concierge area. And I thought, man, a kid zone immediately in an adult only area where smoking is 2 decks up and a bar, that doesn't seem like it fits very well. So I feel like, there was some missed, communication where like, all right, we want smoking and drinking. Where do we want that? By little children. And this is little kids. Like this is a little Toy Story play zone. I want kids to smell the fumes as they go down the little 2-foot slide in the shape of Zurg. That makes sense.
So is the spa connected to the adult area like before? So like on
No.
Oh no.
No, the spa is actually towards the front of the ship. So if you look here, the spa is actually on deck, I want to say deck 3 or 4 around here. It's actually towards the front of the ship and connects actually to the front of the boat right there where you can kind of see in the shape of Mickey Mouse. That's actually a lounge for the spa. And it's not up high where it was before, where you could actually see, the bridge and see the captain and all his crew walking around. It's now lower towards the front of the ship, which it could be that maybe there's just more room there, or they needed to just move things around for the sake of adding more concierge rooms, because there are more concierge rooms on the Wish than there are on any previous ship. There's at least 30 to 40 more concierge rooms, and concierge, they're paying the biggest buck to enjoy this vacation.
I can see why they gave him a pool and a little hot tub.
Yeah,
that's nice. Makes me want to do it.
Sounds like an oddly laid out ship, though.
Yeah,
it really is, and that could be a segment for a whole nother show on like 3 weird layouts of this ship. But I find the ship isn't as linear as other ones. It's not as straightforward. It's kind of like a maze where you have to really know where you're going. Any first timers on this will probably get lost. I got lost walking around because they took out an elevator bay and stairs, and that makes it extremely inconvenient for people to get around. You only have 2 elevator bays, and if you have people with strollers or wheelchairs or ECVs, it can take a while to get there. And I've spoken about elevators and how the button system doesn't seem to work properly, in my opinion. It's weirdly laid out, but the pool situation, the grand hall, and just the overall size make this ship completely different than the other ones. And I'm looking forward to what the Treasure does, because this ship was getting constructed during the pandemic and they had to shut down. And I'm wondering if they had to speed up and move things around in order to get it out so they could start making money. Because any day that this boat was not on the water, they're losing millions. So you gotta feed the piggy bank. You gotta get the executive paycheck filled.
That's for sure.
But overall, the Wish is beautiful. It is immaculate. If you lick it, it tastes good. It's good quality steel, and it really is a fun experience to go on this ship and check it out. I will get to go on it again this upcoming December. So I'll be sure to film some more amazing stuff so I can show it to all of you lovely, lovely people. But yeah, the Wish is really cool. I like it a lot. I like some aspects of it less than other ships, but overall, I would say it is definitely worth a vacation. And I think it's going to be the new family ship where if you're going on a cruise for the first time or a Disney cruise, you're going to want the Wish over all the other ones. I think the Magic and Wonder are going to be relocated to more extravagant locations, such as, they're doing the South Pacific tour of Hawaii, Australia, New Zealand, and then I could see the Dream and Fantasy, one of them going over to Europe and doing the whole Mediterranean cruise. So Disney's expanding its fleets. They're creating new amazing ships that can fit more people and offer a little bit more unique experiences, such as the Star Wars bar. But the Wish is a great ship. I highly recommend it if you get the opportunity to go on it. Buy one of these things. It's only a couple dollars. but it's really cool. You just put it on your desk, you stare at it, and you think, man, I would rather be there.
I wish I was on that thing.
Yeah.
Does that ship
I wish
taste
I was
like
on
the
that
real
thing.
one?
Sorry, what?
Does that ship taste like the real one?
It tastes like lead paint.
Oh, no.
Be
Not
careful
quite
with
the
that one.
No, it tastes like magic.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
But
wow.
like a wish coming true. Yeah, we'll do that.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm not sure what a wish tastes like, but
Yeah.
It's you have to taste it to know what it tastes like.
okay. That's what we'll...
Group
Yeah,
trip.
it's like
Let's
in
go.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Let's go lick that ship together.
It's like Pirates of the Caribbean. You don't know where you're going unless you've already been there. It's like you don't know what it tastes like unless you taste it. It's a unique flavor.
Lots of Pirates of the Caribbean references today.
Yeah.
Makes sense, though.
Being on the high seas.
It's all
makes sense.
It's all nautical. You're in the Caribbean, yo ho. Pirates life for me.
What'd you call me?
Whoa.
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 My gosh.
Huh? What?
Huh?
I've seen Christmas lyrics like ho ho ho.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought I heard.
Oh, he's just
Up
preparing
on housetop.
himself.
Gared the ship licker, everyone.
There he is.
Hey.
Our golden goose.
Ship.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Studio audience goes wild every time. So grateful that you could join us. And if you are looking for a future Disney Wish Cruise Line trip, you are in luck, sailing out of Port Canaveral right now. They're just a couple miles away from Walt Disney World Resort. No doubt much more to talk about in terms of Gared's recent trip on the Disney Wish. And now you know how it's a little bit more different than, say, the other Disney ships. All right, y'all, stick around. Plenty more Kingdom Report Live for you next.
Looking for some digital magic to help you through your week? The Kingdom Report is here for you, covering the latest Disneyland and Disney World news, experiences, and events. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Kingdom Report Live so you never miss an update. And drop a subscribe on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel for new videos every week. Don't miss out. Join this growing community of theme park fans as we aim to connect you to more of what makes you happy. For more information, visit KingdomReportLive.com. And now, back to the magic.
It's time for The One Thing, taking a look at one particular issue from the Walt Disney Company. And today it is all about Disney fans saying that potentially the theme parks have lost their magic. In fact, Walt Disney World has 68% of fans saying that the property has lost its magic. The gambling website Time to Play recently released a study based on data from self-described Disney World enthusiasts about the rising cost to visit the parks. According to the study, 92.6% of those surveyed believed the cost of a Disney World vacation is out of reach for an average family. Additionally, 68.3% of people said increases made it feel like the theme parks have lost all their magic. The current cost for a standard one park day ticket on Friday, September the 16th was $134, though prices of tickets vary by date, and as we all have recently heard, prices have gone up in terms of ticket ranges. Almost 50% of respondents said they postponed a Disney World trip in recent years due to price increases, and that got KTLA here in Southern California interested in whether or not people felt the same way about Disneyland and ran a poll of their own. More than 18,000 people responded, with 76%, that's more than 14,000 people, saying the magic is gone, citing things like the complicated Magic Key Pass system, theme park reservations, and rising prices. Tyler, what else do you think might be contributing to more and more people saying that Disney World, Disney parks have lost their magic?
I know we're doing the one thing right now.
Oh boy.
But I really do think it's more than one thing. I really think it's just everything kind of compounding on top of each other.
The Millennium Falcon, mostly? Is that what you were going to say?
Mostly the Millennium Falcon.
No.
Come on, let's talk about Smuggler's Run and how terrible that thing is. No. It's not. It's okay. It's fine.
You hate it. You hate Smuggler's Run.
I hate it.
Don't sugarcoat it.
Didn't want to derail. Sorry.
I'm trying to be positive.
But it's more than one thing you said.
But it's just a lot of things. I think when you think about doing a trip at Disney World, you kind of go through your financials and everything, and you start to realize this is freaking expensive. It is so crazy expensive. And to top it all off, not only is it expensive, but you're seeing all of the things that they're slowly pulling away. And they were using COVID as an excuse for quite some time, I hate to say. I mean, yes, a lot of things needed to change after COVID, but we're kind of in a more normal world at this point. We don't really need to be using that as an excuse as often anymore. And I just think that finally we're getting kind of back on track with their offerings. They're starting to bring back, all their shows, and, all the attractions are back. And, but it's just like you hear about these reservations and everything you have to make, and sure, it would be one thing. The reservations would make sense to me if you went to Magic Kingdom, if you went to Hollywood Studios, and you didn't feel like everybody and their mother was also there, but you go to Magic Kingdom especially, and you're like, this is still just as crowded as it ever was, so why is this reservation system even happening? So I think it's just people are tired of looking at their phones all day long. People are tired of being nickel and dimed. They're tired of losing out on like different offerings, including food, entertainment, and all of those things combined just make people feel like it's not like a great experience anymore. It's like something that you have to hope goes well for all the money you're spending. And, it becomes a stress rather than a decompress. And I think that's why people feel that Disney World is losing its magic. And I can understand. I get it, And a lot of times it was such like, I know we're talking about world more than land, but like land especially was such a cool thing to just like show up and see what happens during the day. Like maybe a couple friends, maybe you can talk to a friend on the phone while you're at Disneyland, and like they'll be able to stop by for a couple hours later or something. And that's all gone. It's not something you can do anymore because, oh, I didn't get a reservation 2 weeks ago, so, and it's a Saturday, and all the Saturdays and Sundays are all gone from the reservation thing like before the month even happens. So it's just like one thing after another. Disney is losing touch with what makes themselves so great, and it just keeps on happening. So here we are at a place where people feel like they've just been had.
Yeah, things starting to stack up for sure. And we turned it on over to you at the YouTube community page over at the Kingdom Report on YouTube and asked you specifically, do you feel like the Walt Disney Company values you as a Disney Parks guest? Here's what you had to say. 12% of you said, yes, I feel valued. 88% of you said, no, I feel just like a dollar sign. Like just a dollar sign. And Katrina, Disney World is still very much a destination for you as a Californian. How are things feeling to you when you visit now versus, say, 2019?
I mean, it's kind of like what the vote said. I feel like a dollar sign. Like I feel like they don't care about how you use your vacation. Like they don't want to help you. They want to take from you. So before it was like, if we didn't, now we rent a car because it's more feasible for us just to do it because now it's like they don't even have the Magical Express anymore for families. Like I feel like that was like such a huge help to families, and you just make your reservation, you show up, they take your bags, you don't have to worry about a thing. And then all you have to do is just wait in a line, hop on a bus, you get to your hotel, easy peasy, you're done. And now you have to pay for Mears Connect to get you to your hotel. You have to take your bags, you have to carry them around while you're like handling your children and stuff. And honestly, like I've seen so many travel agents upset about it because they feel like it's like a disservice to their clients, because now now the clients are like, okay, I just spent $8,000 on a hotel for like a Disney hotel, and then on top of it, now we have to book how much to get us to back and forth. It's like it's cheaper just to rent a car and then just leave it there at that point. And then for me, it's just like they keep taking like little things away. Like the Magic Band was always just a really fun thing just to have, you know, to get like
complimentary for so long.
Complimentary, and like you get like a little present in the mailbox, and you're like,
with your name on it.
Yeah, it was so exciting, and like that was just always really fun, you know. And now we don't get that, and it's like what kind of like everything that Tyler said. They take everything away as an excuse, and it's just it doesn't feel like, you know, they're helping us. Like that video like a few episodes ago that you played, it was everything they showed you, you know, fast passes, this, it's free, don't worry about it, you booked with us, you stay with us, we take care of you, don't worry about a thing. And now it's like, did you make a reservation? Did you do this for dining? Well, dining's 60 days, so if you don't have dining, well, you're SOL. So,
by the way, the price just went up again.
Oh, yeah, you blinked, it went up by $5.
Yeah.
Oh, did you do Lightning Lane? Oh, you didn't? Well, you know, you're going to have to wait in line for about 3 hours. Sorry.
One of the things that's driving me crazy, too, is now instead of, like, you used to be able to go to this fantastic, you know, restaurant and get all these good treat, whatever you wanted. You didn't have to be like roped into certain things, like and now like California Grill prefix menu, Monsieur Paul is opening up again, prefix menu. It's $195 per person.
Nice.
Noticing that too.
Like you don't need you would never go to Monsieur Paul's and be like, I need to eat a 7-course meal before, but the reason they're doing that now is because it's going to make them more money, because if everybody that walks in Space 220, exactly, because if everybody that walks in has to spend this much money, then they're gonna make more money. So it's just it's just everything. It's a whole culmination of just everything involved. So
it was always fun just to get like, you go to a restaurant and we just kind of get a couple things and we just all share and eat it, you know, versus I am now demanded to get an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. I can't eat that much.
And it feels cheap. It just feels cheaper too.
Yeah. Oh, do you want chocolate mousse? That's your dessert.
Yeah.
It's like easy stuff. Chocolate mousse, cheesecake, like an upcharge for another kind of dessert, an upcharge if you want like was it Space 220 has that upcharge for like the steak for 2 or something. So you're already paying for like for both of us to be there, but then on top of it you're paying an upcharge to get like 5 more ounces of steak. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot. Like they're really like, just I don't know.
It's a good point when it's
ringing
coming
the
from
towel.
all...
They're like really trying to get the most out of us, and there's a point where I'm gonna break, because it's just like if every restaurant does this whole prefix menu where you have to pay $199 to go eat there, it's kind of like what?
Yeah.
Like might as well just stick with, you know, quick service at that point, because it's just like I don't want to eat an appetizer, entree, and dessert for 5 days straight. For dinner. Like I can't, my stomach cannot handle it.
Yeah, when it's coming at you from all angles, you're right, it stacks up, it becomes problematic. Once again, over at the YouTube community page, we asked you specifically in another poll, is your view of the Walt Disney Company more or less favorable today than it was in 2019? 6% of you said, yeah, it's more favorable. 13% said about the same. 81% said less favorable than it was in 2019. Gared, you've worked there and been an annual pass holder. Have you noticed a change for better or worse in the way you feel about Walt Disney World over the course of time?
Yeah. And being a cast member as well as being a guest, you know, you see things differently. And for me, I find it's not as magical. It's not as worthwhile. It's not as magical. Like that's simply put. I've talked to, my old college program roommates, Tom and Chris, and they're the same way where they're like, I would love to hang out with you guys and see you guys in Florida and do it all again, but it's not the same. Like the memories are almost more enjoyable than what the reality is right now. They've cut so many things. They've made it less enjoyable for the guests, more stressful now than ever before, especially with the Genie and not Fast, that's Lightning Lane. It's not fun. And from what I've seen, the cast members aren't as happy as they once were. There's not as much smile or as much magic. You, of course, get, some of the veterans that have been there a while and they try and keep that magic alive. But now people just see it as a paycheck more than this is me doing a service. This is me providing hospitality for these guests who are really happy. You see fights more than ever before. And I think it's this, people can't handle the lack of magic. It's stressing people out. And that's the truth of it. With all the recent price hikes, it's almost more affordable to hop on a fly to Tokyo, go to Tokyo Disney, which is not operated by Disney. It's just Disney in name, and enjoy theirs because it's $60 for a 1-day ticket over there, and it's a lot cheaper. The dollar's pretty strong over compared to yen, and the Oriental Land Company, they know how to run Disney. They do it very well. They're very successful at it, and you can see it in their high quality attractions such as the Beauty and the Beast attraction. Disney World, Disneyland, they are significantly lacking in, I think, quality as well as efficiency. And the fourth key is efficiency, and the second key is courtesy. Show. Their third one, like the show is like their four keys. The only thing they're right now getting right is safety because no one wants a lawsuit, but courtesy, yeah,
and inclusion because no one wants a lawsuit,
and inclusion too. Sorry, yeah, I'm talking about the keys when I was there, man. They added that key after I no.
It's not worthy. Okay, sorry, we won't include everyone.
It doesn't fit on the keychain, but yeah, Disney World right now it's just not as fun. You walk in there and you're like, oh man, like you're happy, and then something happens and it's like lightning and clouds come over and it's now a dark day. At the most magical place on earth. It's more confusing and complicated, and it's not as user-friendly as it once was. I'm hoping that once, the company has a bit more money in its pocket after making back its losses from the pandemic, that things might change. But if the formula works and people are spending money, a lot less likely, and we could be in some tough times, which gives competition like Universal the opportunity to swoop in and steal customers away for cheaper tickets and a better experience. And I see a lot of people looking at Universal as sort of their saving grace. Why spend 5 days at Disney when I can spend 2 days at Disney and 3 days at Universal for the same price, if not less than 5 days at Disney? So Disney, step it up, man. You're dropping the ball, and the ship, it's kind of sinking.
Oh, wow. What a great
drop.
play on words there. Yes. Well, and certainly we do this show because we love Disney. We go to the parks because we love Disney. We celebrate Disney for all of the good that it does, and certainly look to Disney as sort of a great hope in the world, one of the last few real lights of the world. So when stories like this come along and poll results like that come from you, it is troubling to say the least, and we're all starting to feel it. Where does this go? That's an excellent question. Let us know in the comments exactly how you feel. Have the parks lost a little bit of magic? Are you favoring one coast over the other, or are you going to Tokyo like Gared? We'd love to hear from you. As always,
Tokyo.
Leave it down in our comments. All right, folks, that about wraps up this broadcast. As always, if you want to win that Kingdom Report mug, all you got to do is leave the phrase that pays in the comment section down below this very video on our YouTube channel, the Kingdom Report on YouTube. You have between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time to leave the phrase that pays, the Jungle Cruise. The Jungle Cruise is the phrase that pays that you got to leave underneath this video on our YouTube channel in order to get yourself entered to win. If you win, we will reach out to you directly and send you your very own mug. Hey, for all of us here at the Kingdom Report, it means an awful lot that you stop by and that we could spend a little bit of your weekend with you, or if you're watching on demand later, hey, it's good to be with you on any day. And remember, the legacy of Walt Disney lives on because of people like you and me. We'll see you next Saturday for an all-new edition of Kingdom Report Live.